Good afternoon. Davey Stewarts is joining us this afternoon. He is the owner of Star City Compost. In our opening there, you see a hand reaching in and grabbing a handful of dirt and lifting it up. That's the kind of soil we want for our gardens, isn't it? The kind of soil we can actually smell and even take a taste of.
Yeah, that's right. The living microbes in the soil and the biology in the soil is the secret to unlocking fertility.
Well, you have been studying composting for a long time, the healthy, getting healthy soils together to grow our vegetables, our garden, our flowers, whatever they may be, actually. What is exactly compost? What's it made of?
So compost is the process of decomposition that occurs when you take pretty much any organic matter and fuse it with air and the proper amount of carbon and nitrogen, and it creates a living soil in the end. So the difference between a synthetic fertilizer that you might get at the store and compost, especially a locally based compost, is that there are living microbes within the soil. There are different other small soil organisms that when they're put into your garden are able to unlock the nutrients that are latent sitting in your soil already.
So is that what Star City Compost does? You help people to really come up with the kind of compost that's appropriate for their garden?
Yeah, so we take food waste and we mix it with wood chips to make our soil as an end product for gardeners. And our business has two ends, so the receiving end, and we're a waste management company essentially that collects food waste from restaurants, homeowners, residences. We have Hollins University as one of our major clients, which is amazing. And we take all their food waste, I mix it up really good, then I load it into huge bunkers that flush air underneath this feedstock. And then the end is that we're creating, after we screen it, so this is kind of our food waste that comes in. This right here is the product that comes out of the bunkers after we aerate it and all the food waste breaks down. You see it has all these wood chips in it. And then to make our final product, which only has small amounts of wood chips in it, we run it through a screen, and this is what you would actually be adding to your garden right here.
So all the nutrients that these plants took out of the soil to develop their fruit goes back into this through this composition process.
That's exactly right. And this is a societal issue that we're throwing these nutrients into the landfill.
Yeah.
So Star City Compost on the front end of it is trying to address the issue of food waste in landfills, which is the third largest contributor of methane to our atmosphere.
Wow.
So not only is it inefficient resource use, but it also is greatly contributing to climate change.
Now, it was probably 3, 4, 5 years ago. I went online, I looked up some instructions to take a big plastic trash dumpster, about the size of your big dumpster here actually, but it was round. And I drilled holes in it, did all these kinds of things. So I started taking all of my composting materials, the banana peels, the leaves from the plants, whatever. And I filled this thing up and I'd go out and kick it around and roll it around and all this kind of every once in a while. And after about a season of doing that, I opened it up and I have no idea what I had, but it wasn't that. Is it more difficult unless you've really got one of those expensive things that you can roll it around and all that kind of stuff? There's a big difference between what we can do at home to develop compost and what you can do at Star City Compost.
That's correct. So it's a matter of scale.
Yeah.
And compost is really best made in batches, especially when you're utilizing microbes to do your compost. So our compost gets on average to about 140 or 150 degrees for about a week or so and then tapers off over time. What that does is it kills off the weed seeds, it kills off any pathogens that might be still in the food waste, and it also breaks down all of the food waste in just about 4 weeks. So it's this miraculous thing that happens with the microbes, but if you're consistently, the backyard composter is consistently just adding a little bit each week, a little bit each week, so they're not making batches, and they're never able to get their pile big enough to actually activate that hot microbe pile. So if you're doing backyard composting, you could do it with worms, but really the reason why I think most people think about backyard composting over a service like Star City Compost is that we're the first one in the Roanoke Valley.
Yeah.
So there's never been this opportunity for people to do massive scale composting together. And it's the reason why that is really is because it's very difficult to get through the regulations to get a permitted composting facility to run an operation like we have. So,
I was reading on your website, actually, you've got a nice little article there describing how you went through that whole process. So you've started, have you reached fruition yet? Do you have compost that's actually ready now that we can purchase?
Unfortunately, we don't.
Okay.
So it's a matter of kind of stockpiling for us, and then we got all the capital we needed to get the front end of the business started. The next step is that we need to buy a large screen that could be loaded with the bucket of the tractor, so we can actually screen out the wood chips. I anticipate us having compost for sale come August or September.
Awesome. Yeah.
So, and we'll be selling by the bag mostly, or by delivery to our clients who sign up for us. So if you want to be a part of our food waste recycling, these are the totes that we use for commercial clients, and these are the buckets that you get as a resident.
You put all of our stuff in
and
there.
You put all your stuff in that, and then we have 5 different drop-off stations around the valley, and we have a curbside program.
Well, I'm going to direct people to your website so they can get more information. Davey, thank you so much for coming in.
Star City Compost. There it is.
Yeah, right there. Appreciate it. Stick around. There's more for us at WFXR News at noon. We're going to be right back.